Yeah. I got that word in me. I keep that time, we moving that word like some birds in me. Never let go of that. We just double like the flow. We walk along with that. They bout some tanks with them. The TORAH moon say yes or you ain't with them. We do it for the vibes and not for the bang figures. Say yes to this person, you can't go. I got that word in me. I keep that time, we moving that word like some birds in me. Never let go of that. We just double like the flow. We walk along with that. They bout some tanks with them. The TORAH moon say yes or you ain't with them. We do it for the vibes and not for the bang figures. Say yes to this person, you can't go. Teaching them young ones the bus gun that said that them young girls that said can't them sell us. Just said that we shipping is real, that might make that. We waking up people that dead in their sleep. They want all they eat but don't hear it, no see. They lost in the sea. I came off the block where they hustle, they grind me, they stab you in your back, say they love you, they slime me, don't try me, I'm ready for war. I keep that sword, lay down the spirit so low, raise it back off on the floor. The weapon is really in it, showing mercy cause it's really feeling. But it's hated in it cause they wanna hit me. Know the Father's in me, exposing their way, showing they wicked who follow they with them. I'm heading the business cause I gotta get it though. They die for the system, it's banned by the serpent. They want me stay dry like a surgeon, want blood on my hand, wanna see murder. They took it by the devil but I do not search them. Step on the head of the snake, I might hurt them. Hurt they been lurking, I'm searching. We don't play no. And they got right on the move when they come against the word like a K-Joe. I got that word in me. I keep that time, we moving that word like some birds in me. Never let go of that. We just double like the flow. We walk along with that. They bout some tanks with them. The TORAH moon say yes or you ain't with them. We do it for the vibes and not for the bang figures. Say yes to this person, you can't go. I got that word in me. I keep that time, we moving that word like some birds in me. Never let go of that. We just double like the flow. We walk along with that. They bout some tanks with them. The TORAH moon say yes or you ain't with them. We do it for the vibes and not for the bang figures. Say yes to this person, you can't go. We be that glory, that spirit, he pouring. We own it, that bread that from heaven. We got it, you want it, all night up on the bird. We be back up in the morning, got that water like a river keep flowing. Reject all the young ones cause they mind still growing. Show the mercy to the old, got a wise man grown. Preparable upon, they don't really know it can't count. Turn my mic up. TORAH, new TORAH movie. Tell them tanks on the ground. When I was there, the Father raised me up, he raised me up. And all my sins, he never gave me up. No. And all my wrongs, really take me up. They heard them tanks up on the ground, so he had to rank them up. New TORAH movie, how did you do it? I don't do it. On with that TORAH, the TORAH, can we keep growing in me? Hey, new TORAH movie, yeah, it's good, I know he's great. Watch out what he got tricked. When it ain't nobody knows the thought, but they believe I'm watching. They entertain the angels, but they don't understand. They stuck up in their pride, everybody wanna be the man. I'm surrounded by visions, like my tribe in the prison. Just a lion, the Judah, vultures like flies on the ceiling. I'm waiting on the promises, eyes on the million. Tempted by money and love, regard your feelings. I speak that spirit cause I breathe that. New TORAH movement, they might become the freedom. They see the tanks on the ground, they holler freedom. When I was here, the Father raised me up, he raised me up. And all my sins, he never gave me up. No. And all my wrongs, really take me up. They heard them tanks up on the ground, so he had to rank them up. New TORAH movement, how did you do it? I don't do it. On with that TORAH, the TORAH, can we keep going? Hey, new TORAH movie. I put my life up on the line like a bitch, no, they don't hear me, no. I get them hooked, I bet they kill me, though. They took my heart, I had the rhythm slow. Moving where the river go. No, this not a river go. I just make them feel the flow. but I don't think they really know. Got on my hormone, got my sword, it's time to really go. They walking dead, man, this really won't make you lose your head if you really know. Sure about to really blow. Believe that, believe that. Get to my heart if you need that. Believe that, believe that. We never scared, you know what we at. When I was here, the Father raised me up, he raised me up. And all my sins, he never gave me up, no. And all my wrongs, really gave me up. Nigga, them takes up on that ground, so he had to rank them up. New TORAH, new TORAH, out of it, on with that TORAH, then we keep growing, then we up, hey, new TORAH, move.
I'd like to give all praise to the Heavenly Father. Kahalam yo, by the power of His word, I rock. Hallelujah, family. I'm gonna try to keep this one simple, family. It's basic. Try not to be too long. Who was scattered, family? And we're gonna take a look at the 12 tribes chart in the process. Give me a second to share my screen, family. Peace and blessings, brother Stephen Patrick. Who was scattered? Looking at the 12 tribes chart. We're gonna be going through some information tonight, family. The Black Holocaust in America began in the 1600s and the first settlements in Virginia. That colony passed laws making black people and only black people slaves for life. Slavery and segregation have since become illegal, but the Black Holocaust has had far reaching effects on our entire society and on generations of our citizens, black and non black family. So we need to understand what the Negroes went through in America was a Holocaust. We even need to understand through the time of Germany from the 1890s through 1945, there was also a black Holocaust family. We see from 10 to 12 million African men, women, and children were kidnapped from their homes. They were forced to march as much as 1,000 miles to the sea. There they were held in underground dungeons for up to a year. Now, many people don't agree with a lot of these scholars on the numbers of the people, and some of these people are people that claim to be Native Indians or indigenous folks. The kidnapped people were packed below decks as cargoes on 54,000 slave ships, voyages to the Americas. They were usually shackled and unable to move, laying in each other's feces, urine, and vomit during the 60 to 120-day trip. These trips, called the Middle Passages, made up one of the largest forced migrations in the world's history. We see that the Mndu people from Angola were amongst the most enslaved Africans according to the Atlas of the Transatlantic Slave Trade, with most being transported to Brazil. Go back as far as the 11th century, the Yoruba were the dominant cultural force in southern Nigeria, and they were heavily engaged in the palm oil trade, which went hand in hand with transatlantic slave trade. However, the Yoruba were both victims and beneficiaries of the trade, as many Yoruba were dispersed to the Americas. What we're going through is saying that these tribes, and these tribes actually claim to be of descendants of Israelites, were sent off to the Americas. These are the largest, the majority of the people was from these tribes. We see the Igbo At number 3, of the most enslaved African tribe, we have the Igbo, an ethnic group native to present-day South Central and Southeastern Nigeria. The Igbo are another one of Africa's largest nations, which was also affected by the transatlantic slave trade. See, we're going to be dealing with the Igbo. We're dealing with all of these because our people were scattered from all of these tribes, which all of these tribes claim to descend from Israel. The Bakongo got involved in the Atlantic slave trade, largely due to the Portuguese. We see people were enslaved on mass scales, fam. Even during the 17th century, the Fan Kingdom had become well established, and it was famous for its Dahomey, the Amazon female warriors. For the Fan were both victims and beneficiaries of the transatlantic slave trade, and they eventually became, let me move this out the way, significant populations among the enslaved peoples of Haiti and Trinidad. So we're seeing locations where many of these tribes were sent off to. The Mandinka culture was one of the dominant in West Africa from around 1100 BC all the way to 1600 AD. Today, the memory of the Mandinka and their history in the transatlantic slave trade has been immortalized in the story of the Hammerstein slave ship. We see the Fulani converted to Islam very early in their history and were the primary slave raiders in West Africa, responsible for selling many African ethnic groups into slavery as they waged jihad, accompanied by slave raiding missions. And as much as the Fulani were very active as slave traders, they were also amongst the most enslaved African tribes. Various Fulani groups would enslave others in the name of religion, particularly if they did not ascribe to Islam. So the Fulani groups that were not Islamic were also victims of the slave trade. So we see many of them were selling due to being converted over to Islamic cultures and traditions. They started selling others around that didn't even follow that culture. The Ebran people, the borders of Okote, Ivory, Ghana, and Burkina Faso were in the center of the Gold Coast slave region. And as a result, many Ebran fell victim to the very active slave trade in their area simply because they were located in the region in which the slave trade was intense. Then we have the Wolof people of Senegal and Gambia, made up of a variety of separate kingdoms, and constant warriors between them led to enslavement. Constant wars between them led to enslavement amongst the Wolof, particularly with the arrival of Islam in Senegal, which was accompanied by jihad. So we see Islam, when that came in, that caused many to go against each other and sell out. We also have the Chamba people of northern Nigeria and parts of Cameroon, was also victims of the slave trade. But we're going to go to the Igbo. The Igbo people, prior to the American Civil War, were brought to the United States by force from their hinterland homes on the Bight of Biafra and shipped by Europeans to North America between the 17th century and 19th centuries. See, speaking of Igbo now, because this is one of the majority of the tribes that were also sold, documented. And that was from the 17th century, remember, family? The late 1600s all the way to the 1900s, family. But we also see during the massacre of the Igbos in Nigeria between 1966. So we see it didn't even stop, family. First, they go through the curses of Deuteronomy 28, get put on slave ships, raped, robbed, murdered, sold. From the late 1600s, so 17th century, to the 1900s. And we see in the 1900s, it wasn't even over yet. During the massacre of the Igbos in Nigeria between 1966 and 1970, 1 to 3 million people died. In the decades since, writers have worked to make sense of the immense human tragedy. These literary representations of massacres use the Holocaust as an important point of reference. So they call this a Holocaust. Scholars, people who come and document it, or what happened. The war in Nigeria, with its associated mass atrocities, arguably one of the first major moments of post-colonial Africa when accusations of genocide were made, following military coup in Nigeria in 1966. So we see many of us descended from this particular tribe of Igbos. Some maybe come from Aruba, but all these people claim to be of ancient Israelites. So we see the curses that was going happening in Deuteronomy 28, sold on slave ships. We see the genocide. They didn't even stop. Hundreds of years, we get all the way to 1966. It still was killing our people. They went back over there to kill more. The military and ethnic extremists systematically targeted and killed Igbos across the then northern and western regions of Nigeria. Massacres of Igbos and other Easterners across the country led to thousands of deaths and the displacement of millions. See, we're still going through these curses. We'll put on boats, put over here. They still was attacking our family of the tribes we were sold from, genociding them constantly. While we're in America going through genocide, slavery, killed, going through the Holocaust, our relatives that were still over in Africa was going through the Holocaust still also. But it's all the way in 1966 that they had a genocide again upon them. This led to thousands of deaths and the displacement of millions, family. The massacres led the eastern region of Nigeria to declare its secession from Nigeria. The region was renamed the Republic of Biafra. Nigeria invaded Biafra in July 1967, leading to a protracted war. The federal government used starvation tactics, which led to upwards of 3 million civilian deaths in Biafra. So we see the government, they use starvation tactics. Remember, they was connected to America when all this was going on, pulling off these tricks, which led to upward of 3 million civilian deaths in Biafra. Biafra officially surrendered to Nigeria in January 1970. See, they surrendered to Nigeria so they can return this place into states, colonize it completely, because the Igbos, Israelite tribes are there, scattered amongst this area, living. They didn't want this happen. After its genocide war, the Nigerian government proceeded to engineer a culture of denial. To counter that propaganda, writers reflecting on that past have often framed the war as genocide. A common feature in the writings is the comparison of Igbo experiences of atrocities to Jewish ones during the Holocaust. So they ought to know this is a offering, a sacrifice, what was going on, what they was doing to our people, a genocide. See, the curses of Deuteronomy 28 wasn't over yet. I felt still was going through them. We put on boats first. That's why I showed you. Igbo wanted the majority of the tribes. Number 3, the Yoruba also. But of the Igbo, we said it still didn't stop attacking. First put on slave ships on here. 300 years later or so, they still over there genociding them, was killing them. Remember, all this stuff is documented. So the curses of Deuteronomy 28 is literally documented in the history of our people. Us put on boats, them still genociding us in America, and them genociding the tribes we were taken from in Africa, which claimed to be of Israelite heritage. But not only claim, because on the 14th day of January 2022, 12 Shabbat 572 5782, the Jewish rabbinate of Obadiah Alliance, the Yan Jacob de Oliveira, the Yan Eliezer Tabor, the Yan Yehonathan, Eliezer de Mota, Rabbi Hananiah, Cohen, and Rabbi Haim Ovidiah, ruled that the Igbos of Nigeria are descendants of ancient Israelites. So it's already been ruled. It's documented in their law already. So we know that the massacre that happened, the genocide of the curses of Deuteronomy 28, literally happened unto us. With them even documenting it over there, the Jewish people are documenting this because they want to have a connection to us, even though it's really not a connection. Only some people, a few groups over there would be connected because that was left that stayed and mixed along the culture, but the majority of them wouldn't be. Because many people want to get away from the judgment coming from the Most High, from what's going on with this great rob, murder, and stealing and conquering lands upon this earth. But they ruled it already that the Igbos of Nigeria are descendants of ancient Israelites. It's already ruled. We jump down and says there is no doubt of their origins. See, they don't have any doubt because why? The Igbos can trace their origins over 1,000 years. These people over there in the land, they just became Jews. 1948. They just become Jews. These people have been Israelites for over 1,000 years. You can't come and tell them who they are when you just become something that they've been for 1,000 years. So brothers say that even some of them know they come from Igbo. They'll make up lies just to make you say, oh, I'm Igbo, but You can't sit here and lie and tell the Igbo they not who they are because you've been sold in slave trade and they done brainwash you in America. And you trying to tell other brothers, oh, I'm an Igbo, but we not Israelite. Well, you go to the people that have been Igbo for 1,000 years and they are Israelites. And we also descend from them, Yoruba tribes, and also other tribes that are of Yasharal. So it ain't even an argument. Our brainwash brothers and sisters argue against the brothers and sisters over there that didn't lose that culture. Even though Christianity came through the region, but don't let them fool you with that Christianity stuff because they like to encapsulate that Christianity because our brothers that follow the New Testament, they don't make us Christians. But these scholars that document stuff that they follow, oh, these are Christians. But because they follow New Testament tendencies, that don't make them a Christian. And that don't mean they got it from a missionary. It's because they got it from the Messiah and the disciples. Now we know the others that were colonized by the missionary Christians and the stuff they follow, the Jesus, the Caesar Borgia, and all those things. We know that. These Igbos know who they descend from. They know Christianity came through. Many of them already followed the Messiah. Some of them didn't, because some of them were Torah only. But many of them knew about Messiah. Many of them were led into that land from a Messiah. So they will have New Testament tendencies. That don't make them a Christian. But scholars are call you Christian, encapsulate that upon you because you have New Testament tendencies, which come from the following of the Messiah, not from Christianity. But we knew Christianity came through the region also. Even they know that. But we're going to look at the 12 tribes chart. Because who was scattered? We were scattered. But we need to understand it of what's really going on. Because the extent of slavery within Africa and the trade in slaves to other regions is not known precisely. Although Atlantic slave trade has been best studied, estimates range from 8 million people to 20 million. The transatlantic slave trade database estimates that the Atlantic slave trade took around 12.8 million people between 1450 and 1900. This is their database, whether you agree with the numbers or not. The slave trade across the Sahara and Red Sea, from the Sahara, the Horn of Africa, and East Africa, has been estimated at 6.2 million people between 600 and 1600. Although the rate decreased from East Africa in the 1700s, it increased in the 1800s, and is estimated at 1.65 million for that century. Estimates by Patrick Manning are that about 12 million slaves entered the Atlantic trade between the 16th and 19th century, but about 1.5 million died on board on ships. About 10.5 million slaves arrived in the Americas. Besides the slaves who died on the Middle Passage, more Africans likely died during the wars and slave raids within Africa and forced marches to ports. Many estimates that 4 million died inside Africa in capture, and many more died young. Jump over here. The Pew Research shows us that the black population, see, this is a created, remember, black and white is made up, it's created classifications, just like most of them, Indian and all those, they're made up. But the black population of the United States is growing. In the 2023, an estimated 48.3 million people self-identified as black. So, see, it's telling the 48.3 million. So this will be only those that actually are self-identifying as black. And we know a lot of Israelites and others, they're not self-identifying as black anymore. So this is according to who is self-identifying as black or according to who they are self-identifying as black, making up 14.4% of the country's population. I'm saying this for a reason because the scholarship is going to show. This marks that 33% increase since 2000. So that's been an increase since the year 2000, when there were 36.2 million black people living in the U.S. So we see that increase happened in 2000. Pew Research, the black American population is diverse. This group consists of people with varied racial and ethnic identities and experiences. See, this is what makes us black here, is what they're telling you. They already telling you black is diverse. The black American population is diverse. It's mixed, family. Black means you're mixed. See, you got to understand the science about these things. To actually go deep into science, I'm just keeping it basic. Because when you go into science of Negroid, Caucasoid, Mongoloid, and all these such things, you figure out what the Negro really is. But the black American population is mixed. That's what being black is here in America. But to be classified as black is usually when you're over 50% Negro. So anywhere over, so say close to 60% Negro or more, you're gonna be black on your birth certificate. You're 50% or less, they can have you as mulatto or quadroon. You know how they break it down; it goes down more. But to be considered black, it usually is around 60% Negro. This group consists of people with very racial and ethnic identities and experiences. So some people with experiences, they ain't got to be born in America, but they come to America and have those same experiences, like our brothers and sisters from the islands. They classify as black. It includes those who say their race is black, either alone or in combination with other racial backgrounds. You see, this is how they classify somebody who's black. It's not what y'all think it is. See, it also includes Hispanics who say their race is black. So this includes Hispanics who are Negro, but they also have other Hispanic mixtures and stuff in the lineage. Though this group is not necessarily the same as the Afro-Latino population, so they're showing you something different. That these are Hispanics that say they're black, but this is not the same as the Afro-Latino population. This is still separate. You know, these people are our people also. In 2023, more than 5 million black Americans were foreign born. See? So you see where that jump come from. See, this is an increase from 2000 when 2.4 million people, or 7% among the black population, were foreign born. That's why you have these brothers and sisters running around hollering about Foundation of Black Americans and all that, because since 2000, these was non-foundational Black Americans is what it is. But these all still, most of these were still Israelites. But some of these people come to America from Africa or the islands or around the world. They travel and come here. But these people are still same DNA and stuff, majority of them. Not every one of them. But a lot of these, I say over a million, would still be the same people. The others that came that would have probably different lineages, they still classified as black. So some people that classified as black don't even trace back to the same lineage of these same people. See, people don't understand what black is. It's diverse. It's mixed. That's what black means. Black is a mixed population. But when you get into sciences, that's what I'm telling you. It means you got to be about close to 60% Negro or more to be usually classified as black. But things been changing how they classify it. But we see regions with significant populations. See, we have a lot of these on the 12 tribes chart. But the problem is that they classify when they put them on the tribes, the entire peoples are that tribe. And that's a misconception. Let me go back to it. Like I said, Judah, so-called blacks, Benjamin, West Indians, Levi, Haitians, Simeon, Dominicans. See, Simeon Dominicans, it just makes these people the whole people. This is the problem. It ain't wrong that a lot of these people are among these people that they're saying, but they're making these whole tribe people or countries or nations the actual whole tribes. And we're going to see that's not true. Zebulon, Guatemala to Panama. See who they call Zebulon? Guatemala. Guatemala to Panama. Ephraim, they put the Puerto Rican. Manasseh, Cubans. They just put Cubans, they're putting as the whole people, Puerto Ricans, Guatemala to Panama. They're making all these people this tribe when this is all not true. You can say some of these people are over there, then you wouldn't be false, but you're saying this is the tribe of these people, which is incorrect. Gad, Native American Indians. They say Reuben, similar Indian. Neptali, Argentina and Chile. See, there's going to be problems when I read about these people. Asher, Colombia to Uruguay. It's another problem when you read about all these people. Then you got Mexicans. It's another problem when you read about these people. Israelites are all in all these places, but they're calling these whole places the tribe. And that's a problem. Deuteronomy 28:64. And Yah shall scatter you among all people. You, us, Yasharala, Yasharal, Yasharala. From one end of the earth even unto the other. Pay attention to that. From one end of the earth even unto the other, because this is prophesied not, see, at the time periods, people were just thinking it's about their time period. This is prophesied literally about us. From them through our time, we will be scattered among the corners of the earth, which is true into today's time. You can find us across the entire earth, which is true on these prophecies. These prophecies just weren't no one time period you scattered across the earth. No, it was many scriptures telling us we'll be broken up, sent into different countries and lands. This prophecy literally was breaking down to leading up to the time period we will be living in. Because in the time period we're living in, we literally were scattered to the four corners of the earth. And literally our people are now in the four corners of the earth. Jeremiah 31:27, which was a part of that new covenant when you go to Jeremiah 31. He told us, behold, the days come, says Yah, that I will sow the house of Yasharal. Who was going to make us sow us? He was going to bring us among what? And the house of Judah with the seed of man. So we was going to be mixed among other people. He was going to put us, scatter us among other people. And with the seed of beasts. These are nations of people and their tendencies of how they act. We were going to be spread to the four corners of the earth. We were going to be among these people, among the seed of man and the seed of beast. These are all these two types of people. Upon this earth. Now, they speak of Haiti. It says Haiti. Tribe of Levi. What many of them say? Approximately 95% of Haitians are African descent. Descendants of enslaved Africans brought to the islands since the 16th century. The remaining population is primarily of mixed Caucasian, African ancestry, with a small percentage of European Levantine heritage. Now, if you would just make Haiti one tribe, it could have made sense, but we know that how would they be Levi when Levi is not supposed to be all together in one place? Which that made a problem for that, but that's not the biggest problem. The biggest problem is all the other tribes, because that is a big problem with that doctrine, that these one people couldn't just be Levi themselves. But we go to Brazil. Their ethnic groups, 45.3% brown, mixed. 43.5% of them are white. 10.2% of them are black. Indigenous is only 0.6%, and 0.4% is East Indian. So when they be adding a lot of these guys, people on the chart, half these people not even the same people. Colombia, this is on their chart, Colombia. Ethnic groups, 87.58% is mestizo, white. Mestizo white, but remember this is one of the tribes they put on the chart. 6.84% Afro-Colombians. It's only 6% of Afro-Colombians there. Remember they made Colombia, a whole people was a tribe, which was a problem. Not just saying, oh, there were Israelites among them. Yeah, we could say that because it's 6.84% would be. And then you have 4.31% indigenous. Rizal, 0.05. Palinka, 0.01. Roman, 0.01. And 1.35% not stated. Remember, this is one of the people on the charts. This is a whole tribe. Let's go back. I should have had it up. Put it on my phone so I can see what tribe they. A second, family. Colombia to Uruguay. And they had Incas. This is the tribe of Asher. So the tribe of Asher is mostly mestizo whites. It's according to their chart. Only 6% over there who are actually Israelites is in this tribe, but they made it Asher. You see this, family? This is what we got to understand. Why it doesn't make sense. Why is they calling these whole tribes of what they're saying is that tribe? See, some of these people don't give you that population percentages like this. Because it's the reason being is Mexico population is highly diverse, highly mixed. But research on Mexican ethnicity has felt the impact of nationalist discourses on identity. Since the 1930s, the Mexican government had promoted the view that all Mexicans are part of the mestizo community. So that's what their government was promoting, within which they are distinguished only by residence in or outside of an indigenous community. So they're going to be established or known as if they're outside from community. According to their government at that time, decree of influency in the indigenous language and decree of adherence to indigenous customs, while mestizos are a prominent ethnic group in contemporary Mexico. The subjective and ever-changing definition of this category means that precise estimates are impossible. During the colonial era, Spanish administrators created a fluid and complicated caste system, which placed Spaniards and Europeans over other groups, such as indigenous people and enslaved people and their descendants. So they said indigenous people and enslaved people. So they put these two different people. and their descendants, as well as light skinned people born in Mexico. So it's a caste system upon this. They was creating to put European experience above them. This caste system used phenotype offered some degree of social mobility, as Afro-Mexicans and indigenous people sometimes assimilated to the mestizo mixed caste. So a lot of them, they government said that they assimilated. We're gonna find out later they changed it. And after independence, Mexico abandoned the caste system and identified mestizo as a part of a national identity. By 1822, race has been omitted from public documents. This is other changes in policy were intended to ensure equality and also to eliminate racial and cultural diversity. During the Porfirio, Mexico began an active campaign to whiten the population by encouraging immigration. See, this is what they did. They came to whiten the population. Remember, they got Mexico as a whole tribe on there, but how can you do that when you need to understand what's been going on? This place is already a mixed place. And they already teach us by the father lineage, but this would be nonsense if they're not even reading these documents. They began an active campaign to whiten the population by encouraging immigration from Europe and by expelling Afro descendants and Asians. So you know who else is over there? Asians. And why you got some of the native Indians who call themselves natives, they classify that we're actually Chinese or Asians. They're not Negro. Other native Indians are Negro. But these particular, they have other ones. They are actually Chinese descent. Or you can just say Asian descent. Social stratification and racism in Mexico have remained in the modern era, although phenotype is not as important as culture. European features and lighter skin tone are favored by middle and upper class groups. Let me make sure my mic's still working, family. Give me a second. Shalom. Okay, we good. Beginning in the 1930s, drawing on the work of anthropologists Gonzalo Aguirre Beltran, there was a cultural and academic evaluation of the role of Afro-Mexicans. That's in the way. In the country, dispelling the misconception that they had assimilated into the mestizos. So this guy, like his anthropologist, come through saying he dispelled that, saying dispelling the misconception that they had assimilated into the mestizos. He said, "Oh no, all of them they didn't assimilate into the mestizos." According to a study in 2000, Afro descendants in Mexico are more likely to describe themselves as Merino, brown, than Afro Mexican, as Merino is part of the mestizo identity. According to the 2020 census, Afro Mexicans comprise 2% of Mexico's population. They made, let me go back to it, family. They made them Issachar. They made all the Mexicans Issachar, right? But we see that a lot of these people are all different peoples. European, only 2% are Negro or Afro Mexicans. Many of them are mestizo. They already have mixed identity. So some of them, if you have to go by your father lineage, according to them also. For what they teaching. So they couldn't make these people that whole tribe. According to Mexico's 2020 census, 6.1% of Mexico's population speak an indigenous language, and 19.4% of the population identifies as indigenous. So you got 19% of them saying they're indigenous. So how are you making them Israelites? Making all the Mexicans Israelites when some of the people say they ain't even no Israelites. And they get indigenous people. Some people know they're European. I just heard they came to whiten the population. So I mean, this tribe, who they got? Issachar right here, family, according to them. They also said the Aztecs too. But you gotta understand, if you do dating and all that, the dating system, you see a lot of people can't be people according to the dating system. Dominican Republic, see what they made the Dominicans was again, family. Simeon. See, I don't follow the chart. I just know a lot of people on the chart are actually Israelites, but it's not what they say. They made them Simeon. They made Dominican Simeon family. Okay, the ethnic group of them was 71.72% mixed. So majority of this group of people is mixed. Watch this. 18.70% is white. Only 7.45% is black. It's only 7.45% of Negro. Not only though, because remember this is mixed. So half of these are Europeans or indigenous folks and Negroes up in the mixed category. But you see, blacks themselves, which a lot of these still have mixture in them, but they're separated from the community. So that's how they classify these people. Because a lot of them trying to say they're mestizos or they classify as mixed. But they still have either European or Negro or native indigenous background, ancestry. So the mixed part can go whoever your father is, according to the Israelite doctrine. It's whoever your father is. So they made all these people. The Dominican Republic, they made them Simeon. Half these people ain't even Simeon. 0.33% East Indian, 0.37% other, 1.43% they gave no answer. You know, see, because it's 7.445% black or African descent. The 71.2 is the mix. You have probably 30-40% of them, maybe 30%. They're also black or Negro, but these people classify as mixed. So this whole tribe Dominicans can't be Simeon because half these people ain't Simeon. So they have to say Simeon could be among these people, but you can't say all these people are Simeon. You got Panama. They said Panama to what it was, Uruguay. Let me look. No, they say a Zebulon is Guatemala to Panama and the Mayans. Guatemala, Panama, and the Mayans. Okay, we check out Panama. 65% is mestizo, mixed, white, and indigenous. You see this? 65% are mestizo. They are mixed, white, and indigenous. They made them Zebulon family. 12.3% are indigenous. You see? Because up here it's telling you the mixtures between them. Right here, it's 12.3% is indigenous. Only 9.2% are black or African descent, or you say Negro. 6.8% are mulatto. It's another mixture right here, family. See how they separated up here? They have mestizo and they have white and indigenous. That's the 6% calling them mestizo. But down here they have mulatto. I told you how they separate these classifications due to your mixture. 6.8% they have as mulatto, mixed, white, and black. You see this, family? White and black, they have them as mulatto, 6.8%. 6.7% white. But they made Panama Zebulon. Make it make sense, family. When 65% of them are mestizo, white, and indigenous mix. So this doctrine don't make sense. You can say Israelites are among them because we clearly see this in the documentation. We see them right here in the 9.2% black, and we also see them down here in the 6.8% mulatto. In the mixture of these, you have them in there. And both of these two. But majority of these people ain't even Israelites or of no Zebulon. They're just basic information. Common sense. In the United States, ethnic groups, 2020. By race, 61.6% is white. So we know they don't say United States or America. Some counts might teach that way. They just say the blacks or so-called blacks. They just say the blacks are the so-called blacks. And we see 12.4% black, which black is diverse. Remember, it's already mixed what black is. So it's how they want to classify themselves. 6.6. 6% we have Asian, 1.1 Native American, Pacific Islander. You notice among all these people, I was showing you the scatter. Who you see in all these places? You see the Negro, the black, or the mixed, the Negro or the black, however you want to put it. You see him in all these places I put so far. You see him there. You see us there. Only in some of them documents you'll see Native Indian was scattered to some of the places, but majority you don't see them there. You see mostly just black. You see, I got a lot of background noise, family. Got people. 0.2 are the Pacific Islander. 10.2% two or more races. And we have 8.4% other. This United States, by origin, 81.3% non-Hispanic or Latino. 18.7% Hispanic or Latino. Remember, among the black population is a mixture of black. We know we have some Hispanics that classify as black. They're among the black. They separated them from Latino. Cuba. Let me see who they had Cuba on the list. 1 second, family. That's Manessa. They had Cubans as Manessa. 64.12% are white. 26.62% are mixed. 9.26% are Afro-Cuban. So the majority of Cuba, they got them at, I just read, family. Let me go back now. They got them as Manessa. So Manessa is most people. Manessa, 60.2% of Cuba is white. So that's Manessa. They said 26. That's Manessa family according to their chart. Of the 60.4% white, 26.62% mixed, and 9.2% Afro-Cuban. Remember, they made all these people Manessa. They said the Cubans, Manessa. Which is crazy, but see, it ain't but 9.2% Afro-Cubans over there. Venezuela. Did they have them on the list? Let me look. They probably didn't. I don't know. Some people might do, but I'm just gonna read it. We go to Venezuela. We got 51.6% are multiracial. 43.6% are white. 3.6% are Afro Venezuelan. So we see 3.6% of Israelite tribes that got scattered over here. And you have multiracial, so you have a little bit more percent if you got when you do the lineage of the fathers over here. We go to Peru. I'm going through all of them, family, the South Americas. We already know the United States because we over this way. 60.20% are mixed, 25.75% are native, 5.89% are white, 3.5% are black. Every place I go to, you keep saying the Negro or the black. Who was scattered abroad? It's common sense. They documented who it is. Everyone. Who you see everyone I'm going through. I was scattered. I already went through slavery already, so it's already pointing in the direction who was scattered at slavery. And you see these people everywhere. Ecuador, I'm gonna run through Ecuador. 77.5% is mestizo, mixed, white, and indigenous. That's what they are, mestizo. So they white and indigenous. 77%. So if any of the accounts put Ecuador on the chart as a whole tribe, yeah, you know they're incorrect. 7.7% of Montevideo coastal mestizo. 7.7% claim to be indigenous. They are indigenous. They know their culture. 4.8% black. Look, that Israelite, he got son everywhere, but that Israelite. When black are made of identity, you already know who they classify as black. It's common sense. 2.2% white, 0.1% other. Everywhere you go, that Israelite, he's son everywhere. He in the four corners of this earth. Prophecy is true. Nicaragua. Well, Nicaragua. Let me see if any of these even on each. Because I ain't got all the charts up that they have. Some of these guys got different people on their charts. But 69% is mestizo, white and indigenous. 17% white, 9% black, 5% indigenous. You see it's common sense because it's a mix. You got the whites mixed with the indigenous people when they came over, colonized the area. So you got 69% of them, though, they classify as mestizo. 75% white that didn't go and mix with all the indigenous. They just live in the at the place got colonized. You got 9% black. They were scattered among the slave trades throughout the time period. We end up everywhere, but the transatlantic slave trade put us throughout all these places here. And then 5% of these people are just indigenous. They didn't mix with other people. But you see how they got mestizo because you see you have white, black, indigenous here, then you got white and indigenous as the mix for mestizo here. 69% of those people make up that population. But you got that Israelite, he's still over. He everywhere. She's everywhere. You got Sharala, Zion, everywhere. Got Uruguay. They got Uruguay on there. Who it was again? Yeah, Alba Asher. They had Colombia to Uruguay. So they had the other people. They had Colombia's tribe Asher, and they had the Uruguay's Asher also with the Incas. So Uruguay, the ethnic groups, 88% of Uruguay are white. Remember, this is their tribe Asher too with the Colombian. How they did it. I'm telling you how they it doesn't no sense. They could have said Israelites got sun over there. 6.9% are black. Only 6.9% of the Negro. 6.4% is indigenous. 0.2% East Indian. 4.6 is other, and 2.9 is unspecified. But majority of Uruguay is European or white. But this is their tribe Asher on their 12 chart with the Colombians. I'm just giving it to you simple. Try it don't make no sense. The Israelites at every place now they got on the chart, but it's not the tribe to say it is. Puerto Rico, 49.8% are multiracial. So 49% of them mixed. 17.1% is white. 7% is black. 0.5% is Native American. See, now we have a Native American over there. So you only find him in the fruit fly. He didn't get sold everywhere like the Israelite. Like Negro got sold to four corners of the earth. The Native Indian didn't. I mean, the one they classified Native because you have different Native Indians family. Remember, you have Negro Native Indians, you have Mongoloid Native Indians. 0.1 Asian. And you have indigenous that also classified as natives too. But 0.1% Asian, 25.5% other. By origin, 98.9% Hispanic or Latino. 1.1% non-Hispanic or Latino. It's sent by their origins. But we see this multi-race, most of them are made of 49% multiracials, most places mixed. But they made Puerto Rico what tribe? Ephraim. It was Ephraim. This can't be Ephraim. This is all different peoples. It's only 7% of Negroes over there. They add the Native Indian to the chart too, but they don't know it's different type of Native Indians and Native Americans. See, that's the problem with them. It's only 0.5% of them over there. If they think that's the right Native Indian. I don't know if they got Honduras on. I think I seen them on some other charts. Well, we see who's in Honduras. 90% of Honduras is mestizo. That's mixed indigenous and white. 7% of them are indigenous, non-mixed. You only have 2% of blacks over there and 1% of whites over there that didn't mix with the indigenous folks and others. 2% of Israelites got put over there. They over there. But then that's why I actually went into the photos of who the people are because I can tell by phenotypes also family. But they have DNA records and all this, so it's not that complicated. Well, Argentina. They had Argentina on there. Yeah, Argentina and Chile, they had him as Neptali. I already showed you Chile couldn't be no Neptali. But Argentina. They didn't give us the same chart for them because the earliest recorded human presence in modern day Argentina dates back to the Paleolithic period. The Inca Empire expanded to the northwest of the country in pre-Columbian time. The country has its roots in Spanish colonization of the region during the 16th century. These places all been colonized, but they making all these places tribes. Argentina rose as a successor state of the Viceroyalty of Rio de la Plata. Spanish overseas Viceroyalty funded in 1776. You see that date, family? It was funded at the same time as you know what, because it's how they got it all set up. The Declaration on July 9th of 1816 and the fight for independence 1810 through 1825 was followed by an extended civil war that lasted until 1880, culminating in the country's reorganization and a federation. The country thereafter enjoyed relative peace and stability with several waves of European immigration. So several waves of European immigration came to, mainly Italians and Spaniards. So these main Europeans that immigrated were Italians and Spaniards, influencing its culture and demography. Argentina is a multicultural country with a significant European influences. Modern Argentine culture has been largely influenced by Italian, Spanish, and other European immigration from France, Russia, United Kingdom, among others. They made this a whole tribe, family. Neptali, they made this Neptali with Chile. Its cities are largely characterized by both the prevalence of people of European descent and of conscious imitation of American and European styles and fashion, architecture, and design. But this is Neptali to them, family. We know some Israelites over there, but they didn't chart this sequence the same as others. See, because some of these places are too mixed up. I'm just gonna run through all the places pretty much that was down there, South America. Costa Rica. 83.6% of Costa Rica are white or mestizo. Only 6.7% are mulatto, mixed black and white. 2.4% indigenous, 1.1% black, 6.2% others. See this, family? So if anybody got them on the chart as a whole tribe, it's incorrect. Guatemala, they got them on the Guatemala to Panama. We see Panama wasn't Zebulon, so let's check out Guatemala. Guatemala, 56.01% Latino mixed. Half of them is mixed. I don't think the Israelites went over there and did seeing who their fathers was when they had these people on these charts. To see who half of who was who is even in the mix. Then we got 41.60% Maya, which these cultures that predate Israelites even coming over here. 1.77% is Zinca. 0.19% blacks. They didn't even that many blacks over there. They got some over there. Besides the ones that's among the people mixing, classifying as mixed with them. We got 0.13% Garifuna. 0.13% Garifuna. 0.24% other. But who that was? Zebulon. They had it. That was Zebulon. They got them as Zebulon. Well, who would be Zebulon? Would it be these here? To your left and right down here? He said it. They put them as all Zebulon. That's what I'm saying. The charts. That's why they messing people up with these charts. People not believing them because they ain't teaching it right. Bolivia, that might be on somebody's chart. I don't see it on this one. We're gonna skip past it. But you got some Israelites that were scattered over there. Might even have some Egyptians over there. You got some of them here in America. They claim to be so. Chile. Oh, I didn't even do Chile yet. I thought I did. Well, Chile. Spain conquered and colonized the region in the mid-16th century, replacing Inca rule. Which the one Israelites to begin with, but failed to conquer the autonomous tribal Mapuche people who inhabited what is now South Central Chile. Chile emerged as a relatively stable Authorian republic in the 1830s and after the 1818 Declaration of Independence from Spain. Mexican professor Francisco Lizcano of the National Autonomous University of Mexico estimated that 52.7% of Chileans were white. You got them as Neptali with Argentina. We see Argentina wasn't Neptali. They got Chile as Neptali also with them. 57% of Chileans were white, 39.3% were mestizo, and 8% were Armenian, Amerindian. And according to Encyclopedia Britannica, as of the year 2002, only 22% of Chileans were white and 72% were mestizo. Let's jump down. It says, and 4% coming from Africa, making Chile a primary mestizo country with traces of African descent present in half of the population. But you only got 4% of African descent or black or Negro. And it's present in half of the population. That's what. Despite the genetic considerations, many Chileans have asked what self-identifies white. Go ask them that. Ask the truck. Ask the camp. The camp said, camp gonna tell you otherwise. Camp gonna tell them they Nephtali. They said they're white. The 2011 Latino Barometro survey asked respondents in Chile what race they considered themselves to belong to. Most answered white, 59%, while 25% said mestizo, and 8% self-classified as indigenous. So you can scratch them off the chart. It doesn't make no sense. You can say some Israelites are older. You say, yo, we got some Nephthalis that got scattered over from tribe Nephtali. Chiba Chile is not Nephtali. Paraguay. I don't see that on this one, but we're gonna skip. We ain't finna read too much from it, but let's go back up to that anyway to read this anyways, because it's Spanish conquistadors arrived in 1524 and in 1537 established the city of Asunción, the first capital of the governor of the Rio de la Plata during the 17th century. Paraguay was a center of Jesuit missions, where the native Guarani people were converted to Christianity and introduced to European culture. For most of its history, Paraguay has been a recipient of immigrants owing to its low population density, especially after the demographic collapse caused by the Paraguayan War. Immigrants include Italians, Germans, Spanish, English, Russians, Koreans, Chinese, Arab, Japanese, Ukrainians, Poles, Jews. So we got Canaanites or Edomites, Brazilians, Argentines, Americans, Bolivians, Venezuelans, Mexicans, Chileans, Taiwanese, Asian people, and Uruguayans, along with Germans, Argentines. These people mixed up. German Paraguayans are one of the most prominent and growing German communities in South America. See, all this it's crazy if you ain't reading this stuff. You want to know who actually lurking around, fam? With some 25,000 German-speaking Mennonites living in the Paraguayan Chaco, German settlers founded several towns. Let me jump over to the right. Many Brazilian Paraguayans are of German, Italian, Polish descent. There are an estimated 63,000 Afro-Paraguayans, comprising 1% of the population. Now, some of them that ain't got them on the chart, I don't know why they added them on the chart. These are Israelites they got scattered over there. They ain't got them on the chart though. Some of them might do because a lot of these charts, some of them are different. I don't know if El Salvador is on it. Let me check this one. Just know it's 0.1% Israelites over there. And some maybe even mixed up in the mestizo with them. But they said this mestizo is white and indigenous, so that's different. Let's go on. I think that was my last one, family. I didn't want to be too long tonight, family, because it's already late. I'm just showing how some stuff didn't make sense. Peace and blessings to my brother Water Blue Ezekiel. Peace and blessings, brother Salaya Ben Yad. Peace and blessings, brother Dominic Dulos. Peace and blessings, brother Stephen Patrick. What's we got in here? I dropped a link if anybody want to come and add anything or. Give me a second, family. Before I close out. But that's another thing why I brought up the Mexicans, because you have Israelites among the Mexicans. Not all the Mexicans not Israelites. The whole Mexican is not Issachar. It's common sense. We know who's all there. And then that's also for some of our brothers and sisters that are Mexican that are racist. They actually descend from Negroes, a lot of them, but they're racist. I'm saying some of the ones on YouTube I'm talking about. And they could be of Israelite origin. Some of them are not. When you read them, they going if they're the mestizo or such, then it's their spirit why they act the way they are. But I was showing you also black is made up. White is made up also. Well, black is mixed. Already mixed is diverse. The black Americans, what that is, that they're just it's already mixed. When they talking about blacks in America, when they label us black or whatever, that because it's diverse. And then people that even if you come from an island or back from Africa or another place, you can classify as black. And some people classify due to the atrocities in the ancestry because we're all connected if of the Israelite ancestry. But we see that I didn't bring up the science stuff. I already done that years ago about what percentage you had to be. Peace and blessing, brother Stephen Patrick.
Peace and blessings, KOT. Yeah, I just came on here to put on a, give me just a second. Yeah, I just came on here to give real quick that I did hear, from what I've learned or seen from the 12 tribes chart, I think a lot of people were trying to kind of compare experiences or prophecies with supposedly different type of people, like what happened to the Native Americans. And I think that's one of the reasons why some of the 12 tribes chart came in or came about. But yeah, in a lot of ways, in many ways, it still doesn't make sense, as you said.
Yeah. Because it's documented who's scattered where, who's mixed with what, and they labeling every place as a tribe. And then you go to these places are mixed up with all different peoples. Some don't even claim to be Israelite. They claim to be of their ancient origins where they come from.
Yep. All right, that's all I came on to put. That's all I came to give in, or that's all the sense I came to give in. So, have a blessed night, KOT.
You too. Peace and blessings.
Peace and blessings. Be safe out there.
You too. Hallelujah. Peace and blessing, brother Dominic Dulos. But yeah, you got to get into the sciences of the places people are in and why they're classified and such. And then you look at that all these people under certain classifications, they are mixed with such and such and such things. Even the people that have just classified as black in a lot of those places I brought up, they're mixed with such things, but they classify as black. Even the ones that just says white, they're mixed with other cultures of white or other people in their ancestry, maybe low percentages or high, but they classified as white. And then you have the ones that's classified as mestizo, because a lot of them are clinging on to a certain heritage of indigenous and their own heritage. So a lot of people don't pay attention. See, I always say the people on the 12 tribes chart, yeah, you can say a lot of people are Israelites, but you can't say those are the tribes of Israel. You can say Israel is scattered among all these places and these people. But when you look into it, you see majority of the people in these places, they were called Edomites, they were called Japhet, they were called all type of names, but they literally got them on the chart as whole tribes. See, we don't teach that racism or crazy nonsense. We just teach the truth of Yah, prophecy, to bring all under the truth of Yah, that he may be all in all. But we need to know the truth. Who was his people? Who was scattered? We know who fit the curses. We know that even the Jewish people, they document it's already ruled that the Igbos, they even went to Yoruba and such other tribe. I didn't want to put all that stuff in there. I just stuck Igbos for a reason. Because it was one of the third largest majority of the tribe. We also have Yoruba, one of the largest. But these people classify and they have documentation of their actual ancestry. These people went and interviewed these people in such looked out such things, documentation. They looked up archaeology. A lot of people don't know what they went and did. They were trying to make these people not the people, but these people predate them. They ruled them in the law. These are the ancient Israelites. And that's what they call themselves. The Igbo is Hebrew. The Igbo is Hebrew. That's how you pronouncing it. But we see many of us that came to America was comprised of those people who literally claim for over 1,000 years, their ancestry to be of the ancient Israelites, even following the customs of Moses and other such customs. Because when you understand the law, it's not what every campus people is teaching. So you're not going to see everything, a foundation found through all these tribes of following every 613, because they didn't count up a 613. They lived life by culture, joy, peace, and family. They kept the commandments of Yah. And then when they strayed away, we see what happened. They come in, conquer the area. They already conquered the Igbo, sent us on boats here. They came back in the 1900s, still genociding them. While we were being genocided in America also. We see that we're scattered among all nations and places. It's just that they're not labeling the charts right or the tribes. Now you have some people that ain't gonna look like an Israelite. That's an Israelite because it's by seed of father. Even camps teach that, but they trace it. Even if you have some that teach. Like the Jewish people teach by the mother. But if you know the actual DNA, I ain't gonna get all in that right now. But to cling onto the nation of Israel is different than being an Israelite. So it's two different things. Like being American and being a Native American, like the terms they come up with, if you understand what I'm saying. You can be a citizen of Yasharallah and be called an Israelite. And you can be a blood descendant of Yasharallah. But the inheritance, the point of the inheritance is by the seed of the father. That's why they always brought up seed of the father. It was given to give the inheritance, which was the land and such things. They didn't count all the others out that wasn't seed of the father. They just knew that the inheritance and the priesthood went by the father to inherit the land and then inherit the priesthood. They didn't kick others out that was still citizens or had blood ties, or want to praise the Most High. Or outsiders that want to praise the Most High. That's what we learned through Abraham. Kept the commandments of Yah, that spirit that led him, his faith, his trust, his joy, his love, to seek the kingdom of Yah. He seek a kingdom. The builder was the Most High. He wasn't seeking a kingdom built by man, murder, lust, grape robbery, theft. Looking for a place of hope, love, joy, peace, and happiness. Peace and blessing, brother, with some pain. And that's what all men and women should seek on this earth. But we have wicked men in power, wicked women in power all over the earth. Behind the scenes, you may never see some of these people ever in your life. You may see some on TV. They may look like you. They may look different than you. That spirit of the devil, the wisdom of this world, that wickedness lurking through the minds of men. To turn your hearts wicked and sour. You must overcome it, that you may see the kingdom of Yah in spirit, and those that may see it in flesh in time to come. I don't see any questions. I know it's pretty late, family. I'm getting ready to close out. Let me give all praise to the Heavenly Father. Call him Yo, by the power of his word, I rock. Hallelujah, family. Peace and blessings to my brother Elder Yara. Peace and blessings to the Queen Cassandra Mensa. Peace and blessings to the Queen Professor Lovelady. Peace and blessings to my brother Moray Yerma Yahoo. Peace and blessings to my brother Anonymous Hebrew. Pray all is well, family. Hallelujah, family.
Mind codes. No sweat. Yeah. Whew. Yeah. I just be talking that good. Still they gon' say that I'm bad. Yeah. We gon' go clean up the hood. I'm about to give them my last. Soon as they look at the presents, they wanna bring up my past. Yeah. We be exposing them liars. I'm about to put them on blast. I will not, no I will not apologize for it. I will not, no I will not apologize